What's up, DC Nation? Welcome back to another video, and today we're checking out the new Flash comic, Flash number 768, and this is Blink of an Eye Chapter 1. And this is the first comic where Wally West is the Flash once again. This big new Infinite Frontier status quo change, and yeah guys, this issue is written by Jeremy Adams, art by Brandon Pearson. A really big issue. Actually, it's 38 pages long, so a lot of content for you guys. And yeah, if you guys are ready, let's dive into this issue. We begin with Wally West remembering his past. He narrates, "A lot can happen in the blink of an eye. 1 minute, you're just a normal kid. The next, you're fighting crime beside your hero. Or you've fallen in love, or become a father, or a cautionary tale. Huge moments made up of seconds, blinks, which for normal people pass by hardly with any notice. But for the fastest man alive, in the time it takes to blink your eye, the whole world can change." We open with Barry Allen with the Justice League behind him. He's shocked. "What do you mean you quit, Wally?" Barry yells. "Listen, I love being a hero, Barry. I love being a part of the league. But after everything that's happened to Linda, the kids, Roy, I can't do it anymore. It's not fair to them. Or you," Wally says. "Wally, we know you've had a tough time of it. But," he's right, Green Arrow says, interrupting Barry. "Ollie, I don't think," Barry says before he is interrupted again by Oliver. "Listen. If the kid's telling you he's had enough, he's had enough. Why would you want him to keep going? Do you want him to lose control again?" "That's not fair," Barry states. "Barry, don't," Wally says. "No, it's not fair, but it's the truth. Fair would be Roy standing here instead of him, but he's not. Let him go. It's safer for everyone," Oliver says. Green Arrow walks away frustrated and still angry at Wally for killing Roy Harper. "He's wrong, Wally," Superman says, putting his hand on Wally's shoulder. "Is he?" Wally says. "Right or wrong, with the discovery of the Omniverse, we don't have time for heroes who are half in, half out. Distractions lead to disaster. Barry, can you postpone your new investigation until we find someone to replace you?" Batman says. "Sure, of course," Barry says as he puts his hand on Wally's shoulder. "I'm really sorry, Barry. It's just, things are back to normal at home. The kids aren't having nightmares anymore. We're all breathing a little easier, and I want to keep it that way," Wally says. "It's okay, Wally. I get. We'll figure something out. As long as this is what you want, then I support you 100%. I always have, and I always will." Wally and Barry hug it out. The Justice League look on, and then Wally looks up at Barry saying, "There's one more thing." We fast forward later. Barry and Wally are in their Flash costumes with Linda at their side, walking in public. Linda says, "You sure?" And Wally says, "We talked about this, Linda. If I keep my speed powers, I'll use my speed powers. And eventually, that'll put you and the kids in danger. I can't do it. Not again." You can still change your mind. Lots to do out there," Barry says, putting out his hands. "I've had my fair share of adventures. It's time to concentrate on the family. That's the least I could do after all I put them through," Wally says. "Okay then, I'm gonna miss you, kid. I'll miss this," Barry says. "Jeez, Barry, I'm not dying. I'm just hanging up my super sneakers. You can still come over. You better come over, or Jai and Irie will have my head," Wally states. He smiles. Barry smiles back, saying, "To cut you off from the Speed Force, we'll have to be moving as fast as we can." And Wally looks back, saying, "Think you can keep up, old man?" And Barry says, "I'm the fastest man alive." Now that's when Barry and Wally take off, Wally says. "We'll see about that." Everyone in public watching, they take out their phones. They're witnessing the race between Wally and Barry, the two Flashes, the final race between mentor and students. Wally and Barry race through Hub City. They save a cop and stop a criminal with dangerous weapons. They race through Metropolis and take down Metallo. Metallo wanted Superman. He got the Flash. They proceed to run on water into the ocean. Ocean Master is defeated next. Aquaman won't have to worry about his brother today. The two Flashes are on the job. That's when the time finally comes. Barry and Wally run into the Speed Force. Barry begins the process of removing the Speed Force from Wally. What in the... Wally, look out! Barry says as the Speed Force breaks down behind the two Flashes. Wally is hit by a huge speed blast. He disappears, and Barry yells, "No!" Barry runs out of the Speed Force and lands in a street. He tries to run, but his powers are gone. Barry can no longer run at the speed of light. We fast forward and see Barry with Green Arrow in a ship. Barry catches Green Arrow up on the situation. Green Arrow thinks Wally is dead. Barry won't give up. He has a plan but needs help. Green Arrow offers his help. This is gonna take more than a trick arrow to solve, Barry states. We shift to Wally, waking up in a jungle. He looks like a caveman. He wakes up and wonders where he is at. He also wonders if his powers are gone. That's when he stands up and realizes he's in the dinosaur age. We go back to present day in the speed lab. Barry figures out that something has severed every speedster's connection to the Speed Force. Max, Jay, and Wallace don't have their powers anymore. That's when help arrives in the form of Mr. Terrific. Barry has already tried getting help from President Superman and the Justice Incarnates, but their method did not work. Mr. Terrific might have the fix. Barry believes Wally was taken by the Speed Force. He also believes Wally is connected to the Speed Force. Then, wherever he is, he must still be connected to the Speed Force, Barry states. And if he's connected to the Speed Force, Mr. Terrific continues, we can track him down, Green Arrow states. Barry walks up to the Speed Lab computer saying, "Don't worry, kid. We're coming." We ship back to Wally in the dinosaur age. He searches for water. He finds a lake. But when he looks at his reflection, Wally finds out that he is stuck in a caveman's body. That's when a crocodile jumps out of the lake. Wally leaps back and realizes that he still has speed. Wally begins to run. He needs to hold off long enough for Barry to save him. Wally begins to be chased by every dinosaur. He runs up the side of a long dinosaur neck saying, "Yabba dabba doo!" The kids are gonna be so jealous. But that's when one of the dinosaurs gets speed powers and chases Wally at a fast pace. He is freaked out. Back in the speed lab, Mr. Terrific creates a device that allows Barry to speak to Wally. "Wally, can you hear me?" Barry says. In the dinosaur age, Wally fights off against a dinosaur saying, "You're so much cooler in the movie." Wally kicks the raptor far back, but then the raptor becomes a speed raptor. You hear a whoosh as it launches itself at Wally. Wally barely dodges and runs up a volcano. Wally hears Barry's voice and listens to the plan. Wally tells Barry that he's in the time of the dinosaurs, being chased by a speed raptor. Barry is confused. Wally jumps over a volcano and tells Barry to hurry. "We're working on it," Barry says. "You're the Flash. Work faster," Wally says, barely dodging a hit from the Speedosaurus. The chase goes on for a while, but then the Speed Raptor begins to shake. "That's weird," Wally says. "Are you okay?" Barry asks. "The dinosaur, it's shaking like Shakira, but faster. I don't know, Barry. I've never seen a dinosaur shake," Wally says. The Speed Raptor blows up and releases a ton of Speed Force energy. Barry's signal breaks up. Wally runs from the explosion. Barry tells Wally to run fast. Wally runs as fast as he can, but eventually the explosion reaches him. He yells, "Barry!" The time of the dinosaurs is hit by a Speed Force explosion. Back at the speed lab, Barry gets nervous. Green Arrow tells him to take a breather. Barry offers himself up to save Wally. "We've lost a lot of people, Barry. I'm not letting you sacrifice yourself in hopes your potentially suicidal message in a bottle reaches him," Green Arrow says. Barry then brings up Roy. "Roy, he's gone. Tell me you wouldn't do anything to get Roy back. Ollie, even if it meant putting your life on the line." Ollie looks down saying, You're right, Barry. Power it up. Mr. Terrific then powers up a signal, and Barry is able to hear Wally again. Wally, where are you now? Barry asks. That's when we see Wally in the far future stuck in Bart Allen, aka Impulse's body. Wally says, about that, I have no idea. Wally tells Barry that he's in the future as Bart's. Fantastic. That era has time-traveling devices. We can use them to get you back, Barry says. Wally listens to the plan, but is then startled by a huge villain in front of him. Well, that's new, Wally says. What's new? Barry asks. Oh, nothing! Wally shouts as a giant Dominator goes to attack him, and Gold Beetle shouts, What are you doing, Impulse? Run! And that was your latest issue of The Flash. And this issue was alright. It started out terrible, alright? Like, the beginning of the issue, okay, the first page is cool. Like, it's just recapping Wally's history. But then the next page is Barry being like, you're quitting? I'm like, are you serious? The first issue, we have Wally back as the Flash. He's already quitting. When I saw that, I was kind of like, okay, let's see how the story goes. But as the story continued, it started, okay, alright. We see Wally struggling with this, but Barry is supporting him, which I like. But what I didn't like at the beginning was Green Arrow just being like, Wally's still a murderer. Like, he killed Roy. Oh, he should not have lost control. Like, Green Arrow was just frustrated and acting very, like, not cool. Like, I not like how he was acting. And then we have the Justice League there, which Batman and Superman said a few lines. They're just, they're as background characters. Naomi and Hot Girl did practically nothing. But then we saw Barry and Wally start to race. We had Linda have like a brief appearance, which was cool. And then we find out that Wally wants his speed taken away from him. He just wants to be a normal guy with his family. That's it. Which I was fine with. I was okay, we'll see. I'm pretty sure they won't get rid of his powers. But it's an interesting start to the story. So when they start running, it was actually pretty fun at first. Seeing them go through Hub City. They beat like Metallo and Metropolis. They beat Ocean Master. Like, that was a great sequence. And then we see Wally get shocked by the Speed Force and he disappears. And he's gone again. I'm like, are we seriously doing this again? Why we gotta treat Wally like this? So the beginning of the story, I was not a big fan of it. It had a lot of flaws, a lot of problems. But that's when it got better, alright? That's when the story got better. Because we saw Wally, he got help from Green Arrow, and then got help from Mr. Terrific, which that was fine. And I will say, eventually, Green Arrow does come more in character, and it's better at the end of the issue when he actually admits that, oh yeah, I do the same thing that Barry is doing, like he do the same thing if Roy was in trouble. So that was good. Just I hope that Green Arrow is not that character in the series that is always like going up against Barry or going up against Wally. Like, I don't like when Green Arrow is that character. I like when he shows up and teams up with Flash, and it's an entertaining team up, not like a clash of heads, and it's like for like a dumb argument. Like Green Arrow being like, oh, I get the whole thing. Okay, Roy died, Wally killed him, but we know Wally killed him on accident. And Heroes in Crisis happened so long ago. And other series, Green Arrow is fine with the Flash. He's fine with Wally. He's not still at that point where he's like mad at them. So having that show up here, I thought that was a little jarring. But let's go away from that. Let's go to the best part of the issue. Wally being the time of the dinosaurs. Guys, that was so awesome. I really like that. Seeing Wally be a caveman, run from like the dinosaurs, and then he has to run from like a speed raptor. Like, that was so great. Like, it was paced very well. The action was well done. And actually, we got some really great lines from Wally. Wally really showed his character here. This is the Wally that I love. Seeing Wally be like, yabba dabba doo, and then him be like, kind of compare the dinosaur, like, shaking to, like, Shakira. Like, it was, like, funny jokes throughout that I'm like, this is the Wally West that I want to read. So I like that. And then seeing the big explosion, and then we think that Wally died again, but we knew he did, so I wasn't mad at that. I was like, okay, this is actually getting intense and very interesting. And then we find out that he's stuck in Bart Allen's body in the future, teaming up with Gold Beetle, going up against a Dominator. Guys, that was dope. That was a really dope ending. Now, the continuity-wise is all over the place. I don't really want... Well, actually, I'll go into it really quickly. How is Bart in the future right now, in that certain future? How is, like, Bart and Gold Beetle in the same future? Because as I remember, Gold Beetle is, like, way in the future. And, like, Black Adam... The whole, like, Future State Black Adam storyline, which is, like, way in the future. Not in, like, Bart Allen's future. So, I don't know how that compares. I'm not going to try to tie continuity into this because it'll make the whole story a mess, so let's not address that. But for now, it's an awesome ending. Seeing Barry still very worried, but we see that Wally's on a really cool journey. He's gonna be teaming up with Gold Beetle, and he's in Bart Allen's body. Like, that's actually a really cool and new idea. And then seeing the big Dominator, the Dominators are a really cool villain, a really awesome villain, and to see the Dominators just like huge, just trying to catch Wally, or more Bart, you know, try to catch Impulse, was a great final splash image for the book. So yeah, overall, the writing, the story, it started out really not so good, but got better as the issue went on. Now, the artwork, I'm kind of mixed on. At times, it looks amazing in the whole Time of the Dinosaurs sequence with Wally. Like, the dinosaurs look cool, the action looks great, but I don't like Brandon Pearson's, like, facial expressions. Like, how he does facial expressions look very jarring and kind of distracting. And at times, characters like poses just take me out of the book. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this artwork. It's fine. It's good. Like, I still don't hate it. I still like it at certain parts, but other parts I don't really like it. So yeah, overall, this issue, I'm very mixed on. Certain parts I really liked, other parts I didn't really like, and other parts I just felt was like kind of just in the middle, like average. So I'm gonna give this issue a 7.5 out of 10. I'd say it's passable. I still recommend it if you're a Flash fan, if you're a Wally fan, and you want something new with the Flash. But yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. What would you rate from 1 to 10? And if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Flash comic review. And yeah, thanks for watching, and peace out.